So people ask, how do you make screens in Stoked On Printing? We first get our screen here, and today we're going to be using a real low mesh because we're going to be printing some really thick ink. So we're going to use a 60 mesh. You might be asking, why is it so dark in here? Well, right now we are in our dark room. The reason it's dark is we use a photosensitive emulsion, and what that means is that it gets exposed when light hits it. So you'll see later on in the process why that's so important. But for right now, we're going to put our negative image onto it. So there's a couple ways of getting a negative onto the screen. And back when we first started, we actually used a clear film and we printed a negative through just an Epson printer. And then taped it onto the screen. What we've done now is a little bit more efficient, and it also reduces our waste because once we were done with the film, it got stored, but we very rarely used it. So it pretty much just went into the trash. So it's super environmentally unfriendly. So this now allows us to be more efficient as well as reduce our impact. So what we're going to do is we're going to place the screen into, it's called the computer to screen unit. Alright, so now we have our negative printed onto the screen. So right now you can see we still have a solid coating of emulsion, but where we have the black, this is going to get shielded from the light when we expose this whole screen. And this area of the emulsion is going to harden up and not allow any ink or anything to travel through. Something super cool about this unit is actually it's the first in the US. So what it's actually allowing us to do is this chamber here has an exposure LED wall. So that's going to expose the emulsion. And then it goes onto the same track into the second tank, and it is actually a pressure washer. So it's also going to wash out. So once again, just going back into increasing our efficiencies and things like that, we now have the ability to print a negative onto a screen and then also be developing and exposing it out all at the same time. All right, cool. So now it just came out of the development tank. So now we can see that where our black image was, it's no longer there, and it's completely washed out, and we're left with the rest of the emulsion, which is going to hold all the ink on this side of the screen and not allow it to go to this side of the screen. But it will allow the ink to go through here, as you can see. You can see my hand through there. And yeah, so now we're just going to let this dry, and then we're going to be ready to take it out on press. And that is how we make screens at Stoked On Printing.